Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an experience like no other. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for The Mary D. Show, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. The Mary D. Show brings you powerful insights and inspiring stories from a diverse range of guests. Join our incredible host, Mary D. Welch, as she sits down with thought leaders, business owners, and changemakers, sharing their journeys and successes. From career professionals and entrepreneurs to educators and beauty advisors, Mary D. Welch interviews sports figures and health enthusiasts, offering a platform for extraordinary voices. Explore the world of extraordinary people and places in business and finance, homes and real estate, beauty and wellness, education and empowerment, sports and health, and more. Want to be a guest on the show? Call 619-669-8603 or email Mary at marydwelch.com. Visit www.marydwelch.com to learn more.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mary D. Show. My name is Mary D. Welch, and I'm so honored that you came and just wanted to spend some time with us today. I'm always happy to see I know you may say, I don't see your faces, but I can feel that energy. I definitely can. I like to first say hi to all our live viewers. Hi, live viewers. Then I like to say hi to the replay viewers. Hi, replay viewers, because so many come on after the show and they listen in and I cannot tell you how many people tell me how they listen in. And they could be in the car, they can be cooking dinner, they can be all these things, but they listen to the show. So it really means a lot. So I just want to tell you that. I like to tell you thank you too to our sponsors for Front Page Publishing. Those of you looking to write and publish a book, go to frontpagepublishing.com. You'll find all the information there. If you like to get coaching on book coaching, you can find it there, Front Page Publishing. I'd like to also thank First Book Academy. So that's part of Front Page Publishing, because if this is your first book, ladies and gentlemen, that is the hardest book to write, that first book. Once you get past the first book, it seems like it's a new world. I see it all the time. They finish the first book. The next thing you know, they tell me, guess what? I'm already writing my second book, because they've got the willies out. They got all that energy out. And so now they're willing to go on and write that second book. So I also wanted to say thank you to our executive producer, Oliver Welch. Hi, babe. He's in the background. Those of you know, Oliver, at Christmas time, he's going to be on the show. Once a year, Oliver will come on, and so you guys get to see him. So it's not just him on the show. You get to know he's on the show. So that makes a difference. So he will be here then. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited about our guest today. And I'm going to I'll read you her bio. I'm going to say this because, let me say this first. I met this young lady years ago. In fact, when I met her, she didn't have her doctorate degree. That's how long ago it was. And now she has that. And I can't tell you how excited I am for her and the different opportunities that I have opened up for her. But just to see her grow and blossom, I just cannot tell you. I'm so excited about having her here. So let me tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Dr. Shadé Y. Adu. She is an award-winning digital brand strategist, a best-selling author, and an international speaker with a passion for people and a love for helping others succeed in life. Driven by the desire to support women entrepreneurs and facilitate the creation of generational wealth, Shadé is truly committed to offering a comprehensive range of services, which is oriented towards achieving the 3 I's: income, influence, and impact. I love that. Whether working with the company or brand, she will stop at nothing to ensure the desired outcomes. Dr. Shadé has had the pleasure of being featured on Hello Beautiful, Black Enterprise, the Network Journal, and the Rachel Ray Show. She has also spoken at and facilitated numerous workshops in Kazakhstan and Ghana, as well as in universities, high schools, and institutions throughout the United States. In addition to being a full-time entrepreneur, Dr. Shadé received her PhD in Curriculum and Instruction from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. She attributes her success to great mentoring and a spiritual flavor, playing it forward with the goal of inspiring positive change in the world around her. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to our stage the one and only Dr. Shadé Y. Adu. Hi, Shadé.
Hello, Mary. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so happy to be here. Hello, everyone who's in the chat. Welcome.
And I saw Antonio. Antonio is a super fan. And so Antonio never misses one of the shows. And I see Richard Nichols. Richard's a super fan also. I'm looking at our super fans.
Welcome.
So they come every show. So thank you guys. It's always nice to see. Let me see if I can put your comments on the screen. Just a second, Antonio. Because I know, there we go. Okay, there we go. She said, hi, Antonio. And then he's going to say hi to you too, I'm sure. And he says, how are we doing? I'm doing today. Right. And he said, hi, Oliver. Everybody knows Oliver's there in the background. I tell you. Hello, Oliver. Well, we are Shadé, we are just, they say, over the moon to have you here today. I know I read about you. Before you became a brand strategist, why don't you give us some about who you were before the big blow up from social media?
I'm going to say I'm still waiting for this big blow up from social media, but we can go. I started my business 11 years ago, and I was in the Republic of Kazakhstan. So I was living overseas and abroad as a young woman in my mid-20s, living my best life. I was an international educator. I was traveling the world and just, I would say, having a good time. I was doing work that I enjoyed, and I was just really having a great time. But one thing about me is that I'm very family oriented. And when you live 5,483 miles away from people you love and you care about, you miss them. So that's what essentially began to happen. I was missing holidays, birthdays, and graduations. And I had to make a decision. Do I still want to be overseas, or do I want to spend time with my family? Now, part of me is like, how can I have a both and? And my both and was entrepreneurship. I was bitten by this flexibility bug and travel bug. It allowed me to travel to over 30 different countries. And I said, I need something that allows me to still be present while also being able to make money. So a month before I resigned from my international teaching job, I started my business online.
Wow. Were you scared?
Was I scared to go to Kazakhstan or start a business? Or both?
It could be both. It could be both. Yeah. Because you said 6,000 miles away from your family, 5,800 miles. Just that alone, I wanted to go to Howard University, and I wouldn't go because I was going to be 3,000 miles away from my family. And I literally went 100 miles away because I wanted to be able to go home. So I can't imagine 5,800 miles where you have to take 3 planes to get home.
Planes and some taxis to get home. It was definitely go through customs. It was an experience. It took about 2 days to get there and about 2 days to get home. But I said because I was afraid to go. The thing was, when you think about Kazakhstan, and this is like the early 2000, 2011, 2010, and you're thinking about a country that ends in Stan. Okay. So immediately everyone's mind went to Afghanistan, the Middle East, and people were like, what are you doing? You're not in the military. What's wrong with you? So they automatically went to concern. At the time, my brother had been living in the Middle East. He was in, I think, Afghanistan at the time, or Kuwait, Qatar. I can't keep up. And he was former military. So I was getting intel about the location from people in the military. So it was very much so an educated and calculated decision to move to Kazakhstan, because on one side of Kazakhstan is Iraq. So I needed to but I didn't live on that side. I needed to just make sure that I would be safe. That was especially as a Black girl traveling to the former Soviet Union. that was important. And I also went with a group of people. There was a cohort of us, of educators that went. I was the only Black person. I was the youngest Black person hired by my company at the time. But I made a decision to not be the last. So by the time I left, I lived there for 3 years. I made sure that at every school that my company owned, that there was someone who looked like me at every school.
Wow.
And whether they were of British, they could be British, Nigerian, but there was
Right.
somebody Black at every school. So it would never be a case of we are the first and the last Black person you see, because we were very intentional, especially me with minority recruitment, to make sure that they saw the span of Black people from around the world.
Right. So it's now you were there. You're an international teacher. You taught English?
English and global studies, and I did training for teachers. We worked on policy, we developed curriculum, all the things that I would say that a first year teacher right out of school would never be allowed to do. So we were able to do things that the U.S. would have never let me do unless I found it in school, but they would never allow me to do. We were able to get some really great experience.
Wow. And you said you were there for 3 years.
3 years. Mm-hmm.
Isn't the weather rough as far as coldness and everything?
Yes, they're probably wearing coats and sweaters right now. So I lived in the southern part. Well, I lived in the north, in the capital. The capital is very cold. It's closer to Russia. Right now, they're probably wearing coats. It'll probably snow by Halloween. So it's very cold in the north. And then I moved to the south. The south was cold, but there's mountains. There's actually things to do with the coldness. So we would go skiing. We would, preoccupy our time with winter activities, but it wasn't as cold. The coldness of the winter was like in the south, in the north, it was Siberian winter. When you think about some of the coldest places in the world, that's how cold it was.
Oh, I can't. And I very rarely go into a cold climate. I make sure when we're going back east, I try to avoid those because I don't want to be cold. That's what it. And then plus, I was raised in California. I wasn't born here, but this is all I know is California. So, but I can't imagine. But you knew what to do. So you knew.
They told me don't bring your American coat here. Just buy a coat when you get here. You need animal fur, goose everywhere, insulated boots. The boots need to be insulated, multiple layers of clothing. And sometimes it's still not enough. I still have some damage to one of my hands from frostbite because I forgot to put a glove on one of my hands. I was just going across the street. It was not far. And my hand is still injured to this day because of frostbite.
The nerves. It's the nerves.
Yeah, the skin.
Nerve damage.
Yeah, I got some damage, and I know it's from the frostbite.
Wow. Well, then, after that experience, but then you said while you were there, you determined that you wanted to do online. What was the draw?
I wanted to, because while I was overseas, people would ask, like, how did you guys get there? What's going on? Like, I had a little blog and people were just fascinated by the fact that I was in Kazakhstan. They couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. So I wrote about it. I posted our stories on Facebook and we journaled about it. And then, I don't know, something said I was feeling really great. I was able to pay off a lot of student loan debt. I was just in a good financial and mental state. I was losing weight. I lost probably like 40 pounds living in Kazakhstan. And then there was more. We were at a Bible study and it was like, okay, life is going well. Like, this is amazing. And then someone said, but yeah, you're supposed to be doing more. And and I'm on this search like, okay, what is this more that I'm supposed to be doing? By the third year, I knew it was time to go. I knew it was time to apply for graduate school because I was on a teaching sabbatical and my 3 years teaching sabbatical was going to be up or I was going to lose my funding for my PhD. So I had to come back home. The third year, the novelty wears off and you're like, yes, I'm Black. Yeah, I live here. Stop asking me these same questions again. And I wanted to leave more often. So the first year I left every 6 months. I didn't leave as much the first year. The second year I left every quarter. The third year, man, it was hard keeping me there. I was leaving like every other month. I was out. Almost every month, every other month, I would leave and I would take as much paid time off as possible. So I knew it was time to go. And I was missing home. I wanted to date. This wasn't the best location for my dating life. I was in a relationship at that time that could have just stayed where it was. But, but you know, as a single woman, I wanted more. So I knew I was coming back. I just didn't know what I was doing, but I knew school was a part of that. And good things came about it. I applied to school. I don't tell the people I was going through kind of like a crisis at that time because I had applied to all of these schools. I didn't get in. And I was like, oh my goodness, my plan is crumbling. So I was about to run to another country. I had applied to a job in Kenya. I had applied to a job in Kyrgyzstan. I was like, I'm just going to leave. I'm not going back to the United States. Forget it. Let me just go somewhere else. Since they don't.
You said they don't want me.
They don't want me. So I'm out. So then I just kept applying to more schools. Now, this is the full transparency. I didn't apply to no slacker schools. I was applying to like Harvard and getting rejected from Harvard. You know, most people get rejected from Harvard. It was like NYU, even Penn that I have my master's from. I didn't get into their program. And Rutgers, it was so many, but I kept applying. And I applied to like Columbia, George Washington, and some other places. The second batch of schools I got in. But if I would have just based it on the first batch and gave up, I wouldn't be here today as who I am. But with Wisconsin, they were like, yeah, we could never review your application because I was missing one reference. One of my professors never submitted my reference. That's why I never got in. So luckily I called them, and on the last meeting, they just kind of slid me up in there. And I've had stories like that where literally my name was not on the list, but because I knew somebody in the room or God has favor, they slid me right in. And then later, I was admitted, and then I started getting more acceptance letters coming in the mail. So, you know, what's for you is for you. But I knew it was time for me to transition out of Kazakhstan. I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to be closer to family.
Well, that I remember when I met you, when you weren't even in the doctor program. When we first met, and then you went in the program. See, I didn't know the backstory about how you got in, but I just remember you were in it and you were running. I think you were getting near the 7 year. Was it? You have to have everything done by 7 years. Is that it?
Sounds about right.
And I remember you getting this doctor. You were so passionate about there's no way I'm not going to do this. And you did it. Whatever it is you need to do, you did it. You made sure you got it done and you did it. So I just want to tell you congratulations on that. But I remember that. I just remember that because I think I'm definitely a fan. And when I first met you, you were always so kind. You were always so kind. You knew I didn't know. You knew, and not that I know now, but
listen, you're making this happen. You're being consistent with your content. You know, you have a knowing about what you're supposed to be doing, and I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. It's been a journey, and I'm still. But you know what? This is what I tell anybody doing anything. You have to love it first. It's not a matter of, you know, followers and everything. If you don't love posting and putting things up, you're not going to do it. I'm just going to be honest. You're not going to do it. You're not going to consistently do it because you don't have a love for it. And I think that's where you are. You have a love for it. Listen, I'm going to go to our audience because I see Antonio. Did you have a comment? I think he said hi to you. He did. He said, how are you doing, Shadé?
I am awesome. And I'll say sometimes you're not going to love everything that you do. Like that could be a false idea that we give people. When you stop loving it, sometimes you got to have the discipline and just get it done.
That's true. You're right.
Because there were plenty of days in that PhD program where I wanted to quit.
I remember that.
I was like, I'm done.
I
Even
remember
in
that.
business, you're like, oh, this sucks. But there has to be some level of discipline, and it has to be bigger than you. I knew
Wow.
that going to Kazakhstan because it was going to open up opportunities for other people. I knew that getting this degree was bigger than me. Someone needed to see that it was possible so that they could push forward and keep going. They needed to know that was an option available to them, regardless of their background, regardless of who their family is, where they came from, their academics, that if they wanted to go through this experience, they could go through this experience and they could be successful.
And you showed that because you stayed the course. I actually remember when you were saying that you were having second thoughts, but it was like you were right in the middle, and then you just almost just like you turned another engine on and said, okay, I'm finished. I started it. I think that's what I remember hearing you saying. I started it. I'm gonna finish it. That was so you're absolutely right about that discipline because you made up your mind. You had a made up mind. I'm gonna finish this program. I'm not gonna start and quit. So I remember that. It's been a while, but I still remember all of it. And I want to our audience again. We have a couple of more comments. One, I thought I saw Elaine. Elaine is a super fan. Hi, Elaine. She said, oh, hello, Mary and Dr. Do. Great Monday to you both. Enjoy joining in today. Elaine is a retired educator. She taught school, and in fact, the two of us worked together in the same school district. And so Elaine is a phenomenal woman. She helps many students get scholarships to college. She's made that her life's work. Is if you need a scholarship, you need to call Elaine. So that's what she does. And I saw Joan. Joan said, oops, you're going in and out here. That's not you, that's me. Love your determination to get in college. I know. Think about how many people would have quit, Shadé, when they, you know what I mean? When it first knows, and like you said, somewhere your determination was beyond that. But like you said, going to those schools, how many people are like, oh, I didn't get in, that's it. Or I know people who got in, and then when they put them on academic probation, they quit.
Yeah, you got to keep going. So I needed to go where it made sense, and Wisconsin was the best choice. I had never been to Wisconsin. I was in Kazakhstan applying to go, and what happened? One of the teachers that was in Kazakhstan told me to apply to Wisconsin. Wisconsin was not even on my radar.
Wow.
And I told one of my mentors, oh yeah, one of the teachers said you should apply to Wisconsin. And she was like, you should. And I was like, I've never been to Wisconsin. Why are we going there? You would send me somewhere cold? I just want to go somewhere cold. And, doing the research, they had one of the best schools of education in the country.
Wow.
Research school, well funded when it comes to research. And the people who write books on education are your professors.
Right.
So it definitely was an opportunity, eye opener. And I knew I needed to go to a school with resources because I was getting older and I needed access to information and data and research and people. So Wisconsin was able to provide that for me. Now, it was definitely a challenge being there in the Midwest, but we made it work.
And yet now the Dr. Shadé, why I do. Yay! But you're telling and really telling other people you can do it too.
You absolutely can. I would say if you're going to do it, go in with a strategy.
Yeah.
That's the same when it comes to business. Go in with a strategy.
Wow. We have a comment too from Joan. She said she loves your determination. I want to make sure. Hi, Joan. I put that up there. She wants to let you know that. And Antonio, I think I put your comment, Antonio. I already put that up. So thank you, Antonio. And I saw another comment. Oh, Joan said, what was it? Oh, love your discipline and determination. Thank you, Joan. I know, you know, it has, and you're right. It has to be that discipline, because when you want to give up, I'm just trying to think of the many times in my life I wanted to give up on something, and I had to. It's like you have to dig deep and want it, and just still want it, even though it's hard and you don't want to do it and you're struggling. You still have to do it. You know, I don't like to quit. That's my problem. I don't like to. I want to see it through. Whatever it is I start, I want to finish that and see that goal completed.
Sometimes
and Joan,
you take breaks. I definitely took some breaks, and sometimes I missed deadlines for I thought for my final paper, I had missed the deadline by like 4 days, which meant I had to stay an extra semester, pay tuition again. But it was my fault. So I said, oh, okay, now I understand what's going on. And I watched one of my friends finish his paperwork, and he was ABD, all but dissertation, and I was slacking. I don't know what was happening. It probably was business stuff that took precedent. And I had to make some decisions even at that time. I was like, okay, I'm not hosting any more events until I have a degree.
Yeah.
I'm hosting something like small, but not a full conference. I waited until I finished my degrees. And then COVID happened as well. And I said, okay, it's COVID. I don't got no excuses. It's not like I'm traveling to every conference, every mastermind, every event. We all at home. So before this is over, I need to be having a degree. So that was important too. I said, I cannot go out of this season where we are free.
Yeah.
I know where else to go and not finish my degree. So I think I finished December 2021.
Okay.
Because I was like, okay, COVID is a gift. Use it.
Yep.
And school, and then at some point I said, okay, we shifted because school was becoming a burden. It was becoming the dream and the vision that I had that I no longer wanted to participate in. My what is it called? My professor team my dissertation team was all in their average 75. So these people were ready to retire. I said, if I don't finish, I'm gonna have to start again. My supervising professor retired during my dissertation. We saw the writing on the wall, so I had to get someone else and almost get a new committee because, like I said, they was pushing 75, 80. Yeah, I knew I would be some of their last students.
Right.
And then my new professor said, she was following me on social media, and she said, I see you're doing some things on the internet. And then I just put my head down, like, why is she watching me on the internet? Because that's not what school is about. And she was like, you could do, and I told her what my current research was on. And she said, that's cool. You can do that. Or she's like, hear me out. You do a lot of these things on the internet. And I honestly think that you need to change your research. It's going to take you the same amount of time.
Wow.
To change your research to talk more about some of these things that you're doing online, because that's what you're passionate about.
Yep.
She said, think about who you want to be after this. It's not like you really want to be a professor. You don't want to do these kind of traditional PhD things. Right. So whatever you come out with needs to be something that you can utilize. So.
Wow. That makes sense. And you know what, though? That was good. What I noticed, though, you do listen to the advice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, I did, and I want to make sure we got Oliver's comment. He said, hi, Shadé. Welcome to the show. Nice to hear you again. Thank you, regular followers, for your support. All right. There's the executive producer, ladies and gentlemen. Oliver does not miss a show. He's there every show. So I think I depend on him being there. He's in another room. But he's watching for sure. I tell you, because I'm listening to you, like I said, as people are giving you advice, you're taking it.
That's a recurring theme in my life, having mentors to sit me down and really order my steps in different ways.
Right.
Like saying, go to Wisconsin, apply for this, do this, apply for scholarships. Right. There was always someone who just, and they were like very adamant about what they wanted me to do. And if I kept hearing it, go into Kazakhstan, and if I kept hearing it, then I said, okay, there's a reason why this person is telling me this at this moment in time, and I need to listen and pay attention.
Wow. That's what, because I've heard so many people say the opposite. They didn't do what the person, not that, I mean, it's always a choice. Let me say that. That was always your choice to either do or don't do. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like when you did, it has paid off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. There's that feeling. And we're having the discernment to know.
That's what exactly.
Having the discernment to know who to listen to. Because there's people that will tell you things and they don't have any discernment. They should not be speaking anything over your life to you. But really knowing like, okay, this is who I need to listen to. They're giving me sound advice.
Right.
That is a good fit for me.
Right. Okay. We have Dr. Victoria, and she says, I like what you said. But let's see. I like when you said you may not like it, but you have to be disciplined. That's where I'm at.
Yes. We will.
And she finished her doctorate earlier this year.
Congratulations. And I will say part of that, even in business, is finding communities of people who are like-minded and vision-minded, who are ready to work alongside you, and they can see a big goal and not be afraid of it and want to work alongside you. That is really the key.
Wow. And I just wanted to make sure that Joan said she really likes the show. Thank you, Joan. You can never have enough compliments.
Thank you. Share it out. Let people know if there's someone who needs to watch, tag them in the show.
Yes, because now I think we're live on Instagram today. Sometimes I can go on, sometimes I can't. I think we went on live today, which would be good. But I know too, in addition to now, that's your educational background. So now you were doing the digital and the doctorate, I think, simultaneously.
Yes. So this PhD is in education, curriculum and instruction. So when I was overseas, I had been creating curriculum and lesson plans and trainings, I would say since I was 16 years old. I used to run. I don't know why they let me do this at 16. I used to run an art appreciation summer camp, and I would develop the trainings for the students.
Wow.
It was curriculum. We had worksheets. They just let me do what I wanted to do. I don't know why, but that's what happened. I've been developing programming for a long time.
Okay.
Even in high school, developing trainings and workshops and fashion shows. For some reason, they let me do things. And that just went with me to college, high school, throughout college, graduate school, and even in my professional career. We always wanted to put pieces of things together. So online, I realized at some point, I started off as a life coach. I just wanted people to have a better life. That was my whole theme, the savvy life coach. But it wasn't clear. And then I was young. So people were like, well, what can you tell me about life? You can't teach me nothing. So then I looked young. And then so I would get all this backlash about helping people in this way.
Right.
And I didn't like that. Then I realized, okay, how do I become a better? I said, well, I want to inspire people, but you got to make money. And I had to realize, like, it's nice to be positive, but you have to make money. So I invested in a mentor. I wanted to learn how to speak. I wanted to learn how to coach and train and be an author and all these things. And then that's how I transitioned into branding and marketing strategist, because what I realized was I was very strategic when it comes to putting things together, and then the marketing strategy of how to put it out there. There was no doubt that I knew how to build up hype around things.
Right.
So the brand transition. And then we added on this digital course piece, because I didn't realize that a lot of people don't know how to put a training together. In my head, it was like, this is what we do. We got to do this every night because you got a class in the morning. You got to put something together. But I didn't realize that was because I tried to run away from that, because I was intimidated that I was an educator. These other people had MBAs. They were coming in the business market. They were doing this. They were making that. And I felt intimidated that my little credentials and stuff wasn't a big deal until I realized I needed to just lean in on who I was, and it was going to attract the right people. Right. And I don't have to be anybody but myself, whether it was I was making $1,000 or I made $10,000.
Right.
It didn't matter. I had a skill set that people were interested in, and I needed to lean in on that skill set.
Wow. And you know what? I just told someone this earlier today. I said, just be yourself. They were saying, who do I need to be online? That was today. And I said, don't try to be anything. Just do you. That's it. And they're like, but I want to do what you do. I said, don't be trying. Number one, you really don't know what I do because all they see is the end result. They don't know what it took to get there, that kind of thing. So the key, what you just said too, be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. And believe it or not, I think that's hard for a lot of people to do. They think they should be somebody else in order for people to like them or to want all those kind of things. And that's really not true. And eventually the real person gonna come out anyway. That's what I always say. You can't you can't hide forever. So just be who you are and you'll be just fine. Now look at you, as they say. Travel all over the world. Just being yourself.
Be yourself.
And you give motivational, you do motivational and brand strategy and best-selling author. Look at all these titles from being yourself. Because
who knew?
I know. We met in Vegas. You remember I had been and I met is your cousin's name Stephanie?
Megan. I think it was Megan.
It was Megan. I can remember her name. And we met. I just said, I knew we were there. And I said, Oliver, I want to spend I said one more day because I have an opportunity to meet you. And he says, so what if you don't meet her? I said, I just feel like I just would like to meet her. We're in the same city. That's so rare.
Happen. Yeah.
And we had dinner. We had dinner that night. I said, I just have so much love for Shadé. I'm seeing all the things she's doing.
You.
Yes. So just keep, as they say, keep doing you. Keep doing you. So what's next on your agenda, Shadé?
This is year 11, and I tell people, transition, pivoting, changing. I don't know what's next. And I'm okay with that. We have a conference coming up in March, the Girl Your Brand's a Big Deal conference. It'll be year number 5 of our conference. Okay. This year it'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina. Slowing down to speed up. After 11 years, I tell people I'm tired. I want to be re-inspired. I want to do some new things with some new people. And I fully haven't figured out what that looks like yet. So we are going to be doing some new things. Right now, it's just a preparation for what I want from now to December 2026 to look like. But settling down, having a new life, prioritizing things that don't keep me on bus, boats, planes, and trains. I've done that. I enjoy it now. Can't convince me not to get on a plane.
I know. But you're also going to Ghana.
Yes, we are going to Ghana. That'll be 14 years since I've been. We'll be having a birthday party in Ghana and celebrating with friends, family, and colleagues who want to join us. This is a trip that's open to everyone, and we have fantastic payment plans. And if you've ever wanted to travel that far, I would say definitely do it in a group. You will leave as family. It is going to be transformational. So we're going next July 2026. You have plenty of time to get the deposits in, and we cannot wait to see you in Ghana.
Wow. How long is your trip?
9 days, 10 days, something like that. July 13th to July 22nd.
Wow. Oh, I know that's going to be fantastic. Now, it's the birthday you're celebrating. That's your birthday?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's going to be so much fun. How many people are going? Do you know?
Our goal is to get as many people as possible to come. We don't have a particular cap or a goal. We want at least 20.
Okay. That's a good group. That's a good.
So
Yeah.
We're going in the summertime because we have some educators in our community who would like to go as well. So it's not going to be too hot. People are like, it's going to be hot. It's not going to be too hot. It'll be great. And we're going to have a wonderful time. And we have a great partner who has traveled, taken over 2,000 people to Ghana. So we have a very great travel partner who is organizing the trip with us.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, I tell you, it's been, now it's actually probably time to go again. Because let me tell you that when I went to go into Nigeria, and there was a coup in Nigeria. That's how long ago. And we couldn't go in. So I've always said I want to go back and go into Nigeria too. So, but Ghana is beautiful. It is a beautiful country. If you get a chance to go, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, I always tell people to go. I kept thinking somebody in our family would go. Nobody's been, even though I keep saying.
Well, invite them. I'm trying to get my family to go as well. And then the people that were supposed to go, some of them have had babies, getting married. So it's all kinds of beautiful distractions. I'm like, listen, I don't know when I'm going back. So you guys better hatch on to this caboose because this one we're going.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. And you definitely need a passport. Let me tell you that now. There's no question, because you're going to have to get shots before you go. And that's just all. But to me, that's all part of it. You know what I mean? That's part of traveling. Yeah. That's, if you're traveling, you got just what you got to do. That's about it. And I see, let me go back. I noticed just now, I saw a couple of the comments come in. Did I miss one? Antonio, did I get yours? And then, okay, Dr. Victoria. Okay, here we go. Did I miss yours, Joan? Or did I? They wear labels, and without them, they're lost. I don't know what comment that was. Do you remember? It'll come to us.
I don't know.
Okay, and Joan she says, and thank you, Joan, for your comments. They wear labels, compare themselves and others without their titles. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, got you. They seem lost. Some people, I think that's what you're talking about, that some people have labels and they seem lost without them. Everybody's different. That's the one thing I'll say about that. Everybody is different. I want to make sure I see another comment came in. Make sure because I don't want to miss any. Did I get yours, Elaine? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to forget. So we said right now, it sounds like, this is just me listening to you, that you're at I would say, pivotal time in your life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That you are doing some introspect, you're taking, you're going through, and as all the things you have done. Now, where do you want to take all this in your life as you're going forward?
You want the truth?
Well, that's the only thing we want on the Mary D Show. We want the truth. No.
So, I spent a lot of time on the career, business, and school side. Right now, it's time to spend some time on the me side and settling down and having a family. And this has been my story for a long time. Even before someone was even in the picture, I would say that. People were like, who are you talking about? Are you single? What are you talking about? It's like you got to put what you want in the atmosphere.
Tell it.
I started my business when I was in my mid-20s. It's been over a decade. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm closer to 40 than I am to 20. And there are just certain things that I have not done. And most of those are on the personal side of my life. Okay. So creating space to have personal time. Yeah. Or creating space for someone, a man, let me just put it out there, creating space so that I can have a family and settle down, and then reconstruct my business life and life from that angle. Okay. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what I want to do. This is a gift and a curse all at the same time. When you are multifaceted, multi-gifted, multi-blessed, multi-talented, it becomes extremely challenging to figure out what you want to do because you have so many skills. So, and I have a class for women like that, and I need to come out with it. It's been on my list. It's been on our team agenda forever, and the strategies that we must go through when we are multi-skilled. Now, in a season like this, we also have to take into the consideration the context of the economy and what is happening around the world.
Right.
Because that also affects what we can and cannot do, what we have access to.
Right.
So I'm also highly aware of what's happening around the world because it is affecting some of my decisions.
Yeah.
So it's like it's time to take a break in the midst of economic chaos. And it's time to settle down in an uncertain world. But if I don't do these things, I'm running out of time. And if I don't do these things right now, it's impeding on other things that I want to do in the future. And you can always reinvent yourself. When I talk to people, their lives are not linear. They have so many careers and things that they've been able to do. It might be even for me, I've said, Tabitha Brown got a lot of backlash for telling people to go to a job. I'm like, there may be some opportunities. I had a friend. She is a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
She took some time off from her personal training business to work at Panda Express. Now, when she told me she was working at Panda Express, the first thing I did was laugh because this lady got muscles. She is fit.
Right.
And at the time, before she explained it to me, I was like, what she mean she work at Panda Express? This is probably not what I would tell people. But I didn't understand at the moment. But when she explained it to me, because I did laugh, my bad girl, but she was like, no, I'm here because they're one of the healthiest restaurants. Like they have vegetables, they have other items, everything being fried. There's brown rice. There are some healthier options compared to if we think about a burger joint.
Right.
She was like, they have systems in place. She was like, I want to open up a healthy eating restaurant. And I'm getting on the job information, knowledge from working at Panda Express. And she still could be a personal trainer. She still could do all those things. Right. But Panda Express was on the job training for her so she could open up a healthy restaurant. And I said, girl, you're brilliant. That's a good part of the story.
Oh, it makes I tell you, and then with like you said, you laughed at first because you're thinking, how do you go from this to this? What the disconnect? But it made sense. Think about it.
And she's almost close to opening up her restaurant. So she is very close. She shared a little bit of the story not too long ago. So we will definitely be celebrating her when she hits her goal. But that's for somebody out there. Sometimes your story is going to have those curveballs where you have to do something new.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's a job, or we have gig work, we have a gig work economy. You can do something different temporarily, and then it can open up new doors for you. So I encourage you to do difficult things, try new things out, because it just adds more layer, more sauce, more interestingness to your own story. So go after it. And it doesn't matter, even if you're older, younger, give yourself permission to reinvent yourself.
I tell you, well, let me say, I see Richard Nichols wants to know, he said, hello, Dr. Adu. Have you ever been hacked? And if so, what did you do?
Hacked online?
Uh-huh.
Like, I think my original Facebook account was hacked. I didn't get it back. So my original, like 2006, 2005 Facebook account, I've never been able to get back. I just got a new one. Other things, I have been hacked for some other things, but the reality is when it comes to hacking and technology, none of our data is safe. I just come to the conclusion that none of our information and data is safe. Make sure you're checking, especially your financial pieces. Make sure you're checking and making sure that you are protecting your intellectual property and your financials. Right. So pay closer attention to those pieces is what I recommend.
So Richard, she's saying she couldn't get the account back. I've been hacked twice. So I can't tell you. One of them I did. I mean, I got it back, but I couldn't tell you how I did it. Somebody else did it, and I don't even know what they did. So I can't explain it. So I don't have any comment because I still don't even know what it takes a person that understands all that stuff, which I'm not. I'm not the techie. But people think I am. They think they're like, "Are you the tech?" No, I'm not that person. I can send out emails and text messages, but do I know how all the systems work and the code? I'm not that person. No. So I'm sorry, because Richard's, he had thousands of people in his account, and his account was hacked. Yeah, but like you said, that's one reason why I do the emails and the texts, to take people off of social media where I own all that part of it, and they don't, and the accounts can't get it. Because if I'm not mistaken, we met on Periscope. Did we meet on Periscope?
Yes.
That's what I thought. That's how long ago it's been. For
Yep.
those of you who are familiar with Periscope, Periscope was like what we're doing now, except it was the same as exactly thing. You could text questions. You couldn't talk. We couldn't hear you, but you could text. And it was a forerunner to what we're doing right now. It really was. It came, and this was at a time it just wasn't happening. And I don't know what happened to Periscope. One day it was here, and next day it was gone, type thing.
Yeah, they closed it. We had the onset of Facebook Live and other live platforms that just overtook Periscope's presence.
But now
what we take it was the community. Periscope created a community, so that's why a lot of people are still connected today because of Periscope.
It is. That's how, like I said, for those. And then the other one that's similar is Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have the visuals. All you have is the voice. It's amazing just to come up with these ideas. That to me, it's amazing that people do. But for those of you familiar with Clubhouse, you can get the app and go on Clubhouse. I periodically, I don't go on consistently enough, but every now and then I still do go on Clubhouse, and I like listening in and learning. So it's just so many things. The other one that's new now is Substack. For those of you familiar with Substack,
I'm not on it.
Then you almost can't keep up with them. It's so much out here. It's almost like pick one. You have so many, that's for sure. But the big dogs are still Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I think TikTok is bigger than Instagram, isn't it?
I don't know. I'll have to look at the numbers specifically, but it's definitely a contender.
That's for sure. It's got to be, because anytime they keep kicking that can down the road, that's telling me something, that people are making their living. That's what they're up against. So we're sorry that your account got hacked, Richard. I am, because I've been through it. It is not fun to lose your account, ladies and gentlemen. But what Shadé is telling all of us, it can happen to any of us. So
even if you have a verified account, it can happen.
Yeah. I have all that, but that doesn't have to mean it's going to stop anything. I mean, it's like, I prayed that nothing happens, but I don't know. You just don't know. So I know you mentioned about starting a family, Shadé. So I just thought I'd touch on, is there a special gentleman in your life?
Maybe. No, there is. I gotta say things positively.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I have somebody who's very wonderful, a wonderful significant other, and I'm looking forward to that part of my life.
I'm glad. I am happy for you. I really am. I know. And he's going to Ghana also next year?
I don't know yet. We haven't gotten that far. We actually looked at the last 3 or 4 months of the year, because of course I keep a busy schedule. My calendar is actually right here. And I tried to say, hey, sir, you need to know all my dates.
Mm-hmm.
Ghana's far away compared to all things that are already on the calendar. And it's not too heavy. Like normally my calendar is booked, but we have some things that are coming up on the calendar that I wanted to make sure. See if you to be at.
Now, somehow, I don't know why I was thinking that maybe that's where you were going to have nuptials, but no.
You never know. I'm not going to say.
That was me thinking that. That's what it was. I said, maybe that's something good.
The African side of me loves a good party. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that there could be something.
All right. And then The conference is March of 2026.
Yes, the third weekend in March, and we'll be sharing some information about that shortly.
Okay, fine. Did you have, before I let you go, I definitely want to first thank you, Shadé, for coming on. You have always, like I said, I've been following and tuning in here and there, watching everything, just being so proud of you. Really, really proud of you. You just keep going, but I understand when you need downtime. We all need that downtime. You need to just kind of, like you said, you reboot, and then you're almost like you're recreating yourself again. And all that. Yeah, that's happening too. But like, I agree with what you're saying about now. It's time to put in that personal time, and that it's a delicate balance. Is what I find between both of them. People often ask me, "How do you do all the stuff you do?" And you have a husband. I said, "He's right here. He's right. he's still in. He may not be in the room, but he's in our same. We're in the same house together. But it's just making time." And it's one thing we do every day. We like Beyond the Gates, the soap opera. It's on CBS. And so it's unfortunate it's on the same time as the show on Mondays, but all the other days of the week, we have this kind of standing. We watch Beyond the Gates together. So that's our little, you could say guilty pleasure that we just make sure we try to be. I was actually coming home one day and he calls me, he goes, Beyond the Gates is on in 2 minutes. So we keep those kind of dates going and that kind of thing. But everybody has to find whatever works for them. There is no magic to any of it, as you guys already know. There isn't. It's working at it. It is. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. That's part of it too. But you are reinventing, Dr. Shadé. You are making, and which, think about this to your advantage. With all the technology, you literally can be home and do many of the things you're already doing without leaving your home. Yeah.
Yes.
That's huge. You already built that, you know what I mean, that community that's already there. So that is huge, that you will be able to have what your future is, having a family and working from home. People do it every day.
I love it. And yeah, we are, I'm excited about what's next. Just taking my time to smell the roses and embrace this season and take what I'm supposed to take out of it. And then when it's time to like fully be present and fully be full throttle again, be ready for that as well. And that's why I know like this time is strategic to take a little bit of time off, not do as much as I was doing. But because I was doing a lot, it still looks like I'm doing a lot.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's your lane though. That's what I think it is.
It looks like a lot. We're gonna take some things off my plate and then really just be strategic about doing the things that make me happy and also make money. It has to be a both and. Because the next part of my life requires money and freedom and flexibility. So definitely to be continued. I'll make sure I post it. I know there's people who are interested, and I'll keep you guys posted.
Writing any more books?
We do have a book, Girl, Your Brand's a Big Deal, Part 2. That is the book signing is November 1st in Atlanta, Georgia. And then I do have another book that I have been sitting on for a million years that needs to come out. My deadline was last month, but it is on our list to knock that one out too. It's for college students.
Wow. Is it for how to get financial aid, or?
It's not a financial aid book. It's about their matriculation and how to be a good student book. How to be resilient in school. So I would say for the upper classmen, high school students to like underclassmen for college students, how to just navigate school and make it successful on your terms.
All right.
We don't talk about this financial aid piece, but just your overall matriculation experience.
Got it. All right. Well, Shadé, it's Dr. Shadé. I always know you're Shadé, but it really is, ladies and gentlemen, it's Dr. Shadé. We want to thank you again for being here today. You are, like I said, you're a jewel. I wish you the best in all of your endeavors. whether professional or personal. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
Did you want to say any last words to encourage our audience?
Go after it. Even if it seems inconvenient, even if it seems crazy and scary, this is when things shift, when you feel like your back is against the wall. It's forcing you to take action and make some things happen. So go after your goals today and make them happen. We are here to support you. We advocate for you, and we're here to celebrate you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for being here today, in addition to thanking Dr. Shadé, but thank you for taking time to be here at the Mary D Show. We will be back next Monday, same time, same back channel. We will see you there. God bless. Bye, everybody.
All right, bye, everyone.